everybody, welcome. So today I am doing another art challenge. I am drawing with every single one of my grey Copic markers. Now this includes my cool greys, my warm greys, and also my neutral greys. I'm doing this because Copic Marker Australia holds a monthly competition where they announce a colour group and a theme, and everyone sort of makes an artwork based off of that. Now, as a prize, you can win some Copic markers, so of course I am going to jump at any sort of time that I can get free markers. Who wouldn't, actually? But yes, the theme for this artwork is Into the Night. Now, when I first heard of that phrase, into the night, I quickly imagined a sort of dark, almost atmospheric scene with a cat. Now the cat is sort of silhouetted and it has these like bright yellow, or not yellow because I can't colour him with yellow, but bright white eyes. Now other than that, the cat is completely black, and around it there is a little bit of a sort of environment for this cat. Now imagine this cat on a road with a big shadow sort of coming up under the cat, and one side has sort of buildings in the distance and the other side has sort of like trees and like naturey kind of stuff in the distance. Now for this artwork I really wanted to try and push myself and see what I could create, so I actually decided to go about it a different way than I usually would. Now I would usually sketch it either traditionally or digitally, and then I would go over the top with some line art. Now today I actually wanted to try and omit the line art and see if I could make this artwork completely with the markers, because I don't know, I felt like challenging myself, but in a way I also felt like I just wasn't in the mood to make line art, and I wasn't in the mood to make a sort of really refined sketch. I just wanted to go in and colour it in and just have a bit of fun. But I am very grateful that I actually chose to go this way, because I did have a lot of fun and I actually made an artwork which I am quite proud of, and I don't know, it just felt really easy, and it also was very satisfying, the end results. So when I started off the sketch, I actually kept it quite basic and vague, and instead of sketching and then transferring it onto my marker paper, I just tried to do a very sort of light, vague sketch straight onto the marker paper just to make things a little bit more streamlined. But I tried to sort of sketch in the shapes that I was going to use, but try not to add too many guidelines or anything like that that I would have to erase. And yeah, I'm actually quite happy with this because it does have a sort of simple sort of shapes and sort of makeup to it. However, I feel like the way I put it down, it's very sort of effective, and I just really love the sort of feel that this artwork conveys. I feel like I actually got the feeling down that I wanted to portray. So yeah, after I got those sort of basic sketch lines down, I went in straight with my markers, and I used a few different colours. So I used a lot of warm, cool, and my neutral greys as well, but I sort of used them for different areas of the artwork. Now I started off and I used a complete black for the cat because I wanted it to be sort of like the focal point of the artwork, and I wanted it to stand out really well. Now I used some warm grey markers for the buildings that were closest to the cat. Now I did this because the light emitting from these buildings' windows would be a sort of warm light, and I felt like that was the best choice for that because it sort of makes it a little bit warmer. Now after that I went into the sort of buildings that were closer to the background, and I used a cool grey for those ones, and then of course I used black for the ones that were right in the distance. Now for the actual cat, the shadow of it is a cool grey, and yeah, I actually used a mix of warm and cool greys for the trees on the left hand side. Now I wasn't trying to go crazy with the blending. I kind of wanted to just concentrate on sort of shadows and tones and get a lot of different sort of brightnesses in this artwork to make it really contrasty. But yeah, I tried to keep it sort of dark, and you know when it's really dark outside and you can't really see all the details of everything, and everything is sort of a muted tone because it's really dark. I really wanted to try and portray that. Now I also wanted to try and make sure that some parts of the illustration were sort of soft and, you know, I don't know, kind of misty in a way, and some parts of the illustration were really crisp. Like the cat, for example, it is a pure black, and some of the details like the eyes and lines where it shows its legs are a pure white. Now I did this on purpose because I really want it to be really contrasty. But on the buildings you can see there's sort of like a mix of greys, and you can see a little bit of shading around the windows, but it's not too crazy. Now after this I wanted to go in with the road and the sky, and I felt like I really wanted to try and do a gradient. Now with gradients it can use a lot of marker ink because you're blending a lot and you're filling in a large space of area, and I really didn't want to try and use too much of my markers, but I also wanted a really nice effect. So I ended up using my Copic airbrush system for this. Now I mostly used my neutral greys for this, but I also ended up using a bit of black as well because I just wanted to sort of deepen those shadows. Now I tried to go with a gradient where it was sort of lighter in the middle, so the top of the road and the bottom of the sky, and sort of darker on the bottom edges and the top edges. Now this is mainly to add a little bit of a vignette effect, but also to sort of draw your eyes towards the cat, because the lightest part in the background is the middle, but that's also where the cat is, and the cat itself is the darkest part of the illustration. And yeah, I'm actually very pleased with this. It was a lot of fun to make, and I love the results, and yeah, I'm really happy with this. Now after this I just went in with some gel pen to add some little tiny details here and there, mainly the whiskers on the cat, and just fixing up any little sort of impurities. And yeah, here are the final results for this illustration, and to be honest this is probably one of my favorite artworks I have done so far. I'm really pleased with the results, and I feel like it gives a really cool mood to it, and I love it so much. So anyways, thank you guys so much for watching. Please hit like and subscribe, and I'll see you in my next video. Bye everyone!